Hello, one and all, and welcome to the Animosity Smite League. My name is Moonmellows. I'm joined here by Raven Bites, and our lovely producer is Red Rosy Panda. Raven, how are you feeling today?
I'm so excited for my first ever cast, and as you can see, I donned my Morgan wig that I made, and she's a little rough for wear because she's been stuck in a shipping box for about a year. So,
Hey,
but I'm
listen, you
super
make it work, and
excited.
it looks great.
Thank you. I'm super
Yeah.
excited to get into these games, and I can't wait to see the Sewer and Team have another playoff against each other again.
It's rematch week for these two. The Sewer, the team of casters, the Smite primers, the Tez Dyers, the Hindu man versus Team official Smite Team. To those of you who didn't watch last week, these guys, let's put it nicely, the Sewer won very convincingly. The first game was like 28-4. It was a very convincing win for the Sewer. It was a 2-0 set, very fast games. Team though, changing up their rosters a little bit. Let me pull that up here. Team is now having Rascalio in the ADC role. Jungle is now OP Killer 7, who was the support from last week. Solo laner is now Conjuration Knight, and their rule 0 for tonight, as one of their players couldn't make it, is Din's Fire. So, Raven, we watched a little bit of it last night. I mean, if you remember.
Oh yeah.
Do you think this roster change is going to be good for Team here?
I certainly do hope so. I would love to see them work efficiently with other players they're kind of bringing in. I'm not sure if they've had much time to practice with their new roster or not yet. So I think seeing them all work together for us to watch and, commerce over, I think would be very entertaining and nice.
Yeah, very nice. Also nice are these bands coming through. Ishtar, Newt, taken off the board from Sewer, and Team taken off the junglers, Thor and Da Ji. Apua now making his way off to the bands, but Team seem to be prioritizing these junglers, and that does not surprise me. Musi is very strong, and now with Yamoja off the board, that's two junglers and a frontliner. Or a support rather. That's the entire front line that the team is focusing on. And do you agree this is kind of a good kind of avenue for them?
I do agree with the Thor and Yamoja ban all the way, because having two walls like that, especially if the Sewer is good with playing those kinds of characters, having anyone being picked off or separated from their team like that is not something you want to be a part of. You're not gonna enjoy it, I don't blame them at all for it. I also noticed the Opwatch ban as well, and I think that's a very valid one to get out no matter what. If you have healing in your team, regardless.
The God of Decay will make sure nobody has a fun game unless you're playing the God of Decay, doing a bunch of damage. Thankfully, not going to be able to see it this game. So, Tezdai making sure that Sinilin is not playing that God here, but Aladdin first pick overall. I have to assume this is going to Musi in the jungle.
I'm not actually. We did see Aladdin get played before, but I think it was team, right? Aladdin mid last time. So I wonder if they're picking him up here because they don't want him to have him on the team, or because they genuinely do enjoy the Aladdin pick themselves.
I like that. I like the idea of taking some options away from team. Kind of like a mental game play here. Tsukuyumi and now Ganesha locked in. This elephant kind of been quiet for a couple of weeks. Haven't really seen him a lot too much. How do you feel about him?
If it's Ganesh support, I feel like personally, I do like him, but I have like an iffy feeling about him. It's like it matters if he can really get those ults off in good situations and for his team. And I see an Afro hover, and I'm always gonna point that out. Okay, I really love seeing Afro on teams, especially pairing an Afro with a Tsukiyomi. That basically leaves Tsukiyomi able to do what he wants to do with no real punishment.
Yumi is going to be able to run the back line. This Aphrodite is locked in, and in fact it is, with an on her to boot. That's a lot of pressure coming out from team. On the other side, though, we have Apollo and Neja. That's global pressure, and I can only assume with this Odin hover that Neja has to be going to Hindu Man in the support role.
Ooh, I also like that Agni. The Agni mid is going to apply a lot of pressure. I think this is Afro mid on their team. So if there's an Afro mid and against an Agni mid, you kind of have a really bad, early to mid game, unless your jungle's babying you. Like, this Agni's going to out-clear you, and if you get close to him, he's just going to dash away.
Yeah, Tezdai now rejoining the roster after suffering a very intense hand injury. But hey, Agni, that's a god. That's a comfort pick for them. Gonna be able to run it around. And now Morton, who I hope locking in this Odin. This guy, he's a big player. He's a big voice for the team and a lot of energy. Some call him the mascot for the sewer here. And when you get the man on something comfortable like this Odin pick, I'm sure he's going to be able to run the game down.
We see another Achilles picks. I seem to see a running thing with these executions that we played on teams, and I understand it. Especially when you have this Odin circling off your poor little cute afro away from her team so she can no longer help them and do what she does best. I think having an Achilles to constantly apply pressure to him and like counter pressure, I think that's really good.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of A-gods for the side of Team, right? On her Afro Achilles. Surely the alphabet has something to do here. Their name comes first. That means they're good, right? But no, you're right. Achilles, physical damage to sponge, especially, right? So Morton talked about him being like the mascot, gonna have a hard time getting into this game. And then there's Tsukuyumi on that table too. Achilles provides pressure, and Tsukuyumi, well, that's a god who basically forces you to buy Aegis. Your Aegis is down, that Achilles ultimate's gonna basically come through.
Absolutely, I do see a lot of Aegis relics gonna be happening in this game. Probably, I would think so, because even though they do have some good CC from their Ganesh and they're on here, I think that burst damage is probably more prevalent there.
Mm-hmm. And when they elect to go this Aegis, that CC just seems to shine a little bit more, right? The silence from this elephant is going to be that much more impactful. On her is going to have the stuns. Afro has a stun in her kit. There's a lot of little CCs that's going to be very annoying for the sewer to try and overcome, but talked enough about Team's comp. I do want to ask you, Raven, how do you feel about the sewer's comp overall and how it fares into this aggressive early game death ball that Team seem to have formed for themselves?
I think they have a lot of CC, but I do believe that Team's gonna need a shell in their team, at least one for the Odin. But they're gonna need a lot of beads too with the Ninja ult and Apollo Mez and Aladdin ult, and then just the constant agony pressure he has with the CCs of his little intoxicating gas.
Hey, knowing abilities here, but hey, what else does it matter to know abilities? Because we are ready to get into game number one. It's the rematch night, rematch fight. The sewer versus Team official Smite. Team. If you missed it, my name is Moonmellows. I'm joined here by Raven Bites and our lovely producer back on the streets, back on the action with a working PC is Red Rosie Panda. And now we get to relax a little bit, look at these items, and I mean, you called it, right? High-res Hindu man pulling out this Neja. How do you feel about it?
I'm looking at his build, I noticed his aspect. I do like the Warrior's Axe, but it's an interesting thing for me, honestly, but I do also notice they have a shell.
Minions have spawned.
Not okay, I see what he's doing. I see. I do think the shell's very helpful for him. I love when supports prioritize their teammates over themselves by being stingy and buying an Aegis for that late game execution. Obviously, I think it's a power move. I think it's a power move. I mean, I don't care about you or your execution. I care more about my teammates.
Honestly, love to see it. The developer has a kind heart for everyone here. Also having a kind heart, though, is look at Musy going for a little bit of a cheeky invade here on the red buff. Gonna put Miss Aphrodite behind, and that's a character who doesn't clear, so even without a red buff, the early game's not gonna be fun for her.
Oh, absolutely. I do see that she does have Bluestone to help with that early clear a little bit, but in return, she is missing out on that early 10% cooldown from Sands of Time.
And I felt like we saw this kind of opposite thing happen in a game once between the two of us, where invades matter a lot, right? And now Musy has more farm in his pocket, gonna be able to walk around the map a little bit more. It's just gonna be, listen, Aladdin is a character that likes to scale, but if that character gets good early, it's gonna be dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. An early game fed Aladdin is not something you ever want to deal with. But I can say, as I've said, I've reiterated many times, and every time we've talked, I do believe that Smite 2 is the best game for anyone. You know what I mean? You could be behind all game long, and if you get one good team play, you can still win.
All it takes is for one good team fight for a team to win the game, but certainly you enjoy being ahead in the sewer all the way across the map. Barely 2 minutes in here are steadily building themselves up a lead, and after all these past changes to how snowball works, it's been really hard to develop that lead in the early game, but the sewer are doing pretty well.
I agree, they are. Oh, what a great
no,
kiss
we're
from the
fine.
Afro what a great kiss from the Afro to pill him off, because he was closing in distance really quickly.
Uh-oh, Tezdai is here, but look who's made the rotation. It's OP Killer. The stun's going to be good, and it's found its way onto Musi. Beads forced on out just to get away from the slow. So no one's dying here at mid lane just yet, but Team, they have signs of life this time. And Musi decided to get a little bit aggressive.
I wonder who's going to secure this blue buff, because that blue buff will be very useful for the Afro early game, but not if they have to die for it.
Yeah, not if they die for it, but the one dying, and in fact, it's Ashlyn. Musicland gets the first blood and the first kill of the game. They get the purple buff, but hey, first blood, that's more gold in our pocket, and that's how we start a steamroll.
They secured the blue buff, and they secured a kill on their team, which is really great early pressure. Now it's going to leave the Aladdin early, able to rotate early on solo lane.
Yeah, and already Musicland sitting in the solo lane gets themselves a second kill this game. 2-0. Musicland is surely feeling themselves here. And man, Aladdin with a lead, a character who scales late, already with 2 kills is dangerous.
2 kills, and he's making sure to secure rocks for his team after he made sure to secure blue buff for his team as well. I think it's a lot of good early game pressure he's applying here. I think he's playing Aladdin to his fullest, in my opinion. If you are playing Aladdin, you need to be aggressive. You need to establish your dominance very early.
This guy has a wish, and that wish is to win this early game. Certainly making it look good, right? OP Killer, so far a little bit quieter as opposed to Musi, and in fact 2 levels down. Musicland already has that Into the Lamp ultimate, so I don't want to be anywhere near this Aladdin for a fight.
The sewer is definitely above here when it comes to, well, gold and leveling. They had a good XP difference and a little bit of a gold difference there too. I do really like their pressure they're applying here, and also this mid is keeping pressure in mid lane as well on top of that. It's always good when you gank mid lane as a jungle that your mid laner stays keeping like pressure and doesn't just go back to playing passively once you left.
Yeah, talk about pressure. Tezdai hurt their pinky and you wouldn't believe it, hitting these bombs like nobody's business. Ashlyn poked down low. But that's kind of the fun part of the sewer team, right? These guys spend a lot of time watching Smite. They do it professionally. Hindu's done it for years at this point, as a purple buff invade is going in over here for the sewer, but the rotations are here. Ashlyn rotated from the mid lane, stunned out as Hindu Man. Damage, though, is going to be good, and there's that shell to keep ourselves alive, but Malum making sure we can't get in there because the silence is beautiful. Hindu Man falls on down, but at least Malum survives.
I also want to point out there that Ashlyn made a really good back off right as our high-res Hindu Man was about to jump in that Apollo the Afro very kindly pushed him out of the way, so he could not get in there in time, just to be silenced anyway.
Big man Musi made the rotation over to the duo lane, takes out Din's fire, and now they have to get on out of town. Bunch of people dying. Tezdai made the rotation over the duo lane as well, but we're here just for the damage as well. But hey, 4 members on the left side of the map, that means a Gold Fury is in our sights.
Oh, they absolutely have the pressure to set up for Gold Fury. But, however, I do see the mid is catching up a little bit, but they seem a little bit kind of unbeknownst to the Gold Fury happening right up under their nose. I think that they might have they're actually going for Oracles. They are losing out on Gold Fury.
Yeah, go for the determined farm instead of stepping up and, in fact, losing the lead ever further. Musi's going to ride the wall and dash on in, but he's going to be stunned on out in return. But OP Killer's taking a bunch of damage. We made the wish. Here comes the ultimate off the mark, but Hindu sends them into the sky. OP Killer taken on down and low, but the shield is going to be good. Not good enough. Tezdai credited with the kill. Hindu Man sets that one up for his mid laner.
The shield was really great. It almost saved him there. I was really on the edge of my seat a little bit with that one. I really thought he might have got out, but he stayed very prevalent and on his head, so I could say.
Listen, Hindu Man knows how to play the game, and listen, if we're too mean about him, we have to legally be nice to him, or else he will ban us. We're in trouble. We're in danger. Save us. Blink twice if we need help. I'm blinking.
But Hindu Man, I've never said anything wrong before in my life, ever. That's a joke, obviously. I do like the Hindu Man pressure, though. I do like that he keeps pressure here, but it seems to be that the Afro has used her ult in exchange for applying some pressure back in mid lane.
Yeah, but that's a huge ability down. Undying Love now off the table, and well, this Aphrodite, she built Shell. So gonna have a hard time this game trying to survive as long as that ultimate is down. Doesn't have a lot of safety. And I don't know, do you feel like that's a good trade?
With Afro mid, It depends if she's going the build we've mentioned before, with a lot of afros going a certain build, no matter where they're at, whether it's mid, support, or solo. It seems to be a very versatile and great build. I see that it's a little bit different for her. I don't know if she's actually going through it or not. We won't know until her second or third item if she is. But if she isn't, I would say that Shell and subbing of a beads per chance might not be the best for her survivability.
Gonna have a hard time here into the front line. Also having a hard time is Hindu Man being stunned on out. The damage is gonna be good, but here's TTOSTT with the abilities. Hindu takes one to the sky. Ashlyn taking some damage, lands on down, but has the shell. So she's going to be A-okay. Here comes the Dharmic Pillars, but a little bit off the mark. Music Land standing forward. Here comes a stun. Now Dinsfire is in trouble. Piercing Moonlight's going to be big, though, and Hindu Man takes a brunt of the damage, but that is one tanky Neja into the lamp. Goes Tsukayumi. Now it's a 1v1 in there. Inside the clown card, damage is bound to be happening. All the meanwhile, Ashlyn stepping forward. This Aphrodite has sustain, has heal, and slowly but surely making sure herself is popped on up, but no kills coming out just yet. Out of the lamp is OP Killer 7, so no kills, but it sure is close.
They do win the ritual, though, in mid, I see. They get them some... I don't know, do they get pressures yet or not, actually?
Not just yet, I don't believe, but pressure's coming here as Musi steps towards the yellow buff, able to get that one. Beads forced on out into OP Killer 7, and this Aladdin is looking for it, but unfortunately decides to play smarter, play better, and look who's on the rotation. It's on her. Musi stepped up a little bit too far, and in fact might have to pay for it with his life. OP Killer takes out Music Land, but Malum is here. The chariot is good. OP Killer sent to the grave, and now Rascali falls on down as well. Hindu Man credited with a kill, but the sewer lose one, get two.
Musi did get pinched there, but in return, Malum and Hinduman counter-pinched the pinchers. I think that's really great on their part for keeping an eye out for their jungler. And though they did lose him in the fight, they also did get 2 kills, as you mentioned beforehand, which I feel like is definitely worth more for the sewer, as they have gold advantage and a kill advantage.
Gold kills all favoring the sewer 9 minutes into this game. Almost a 3k, no, a solid 3k gold lead favoring them. And well, 4 more kills heading their way. The sewer playing great and aggressive, and I'm not seeing that stop anytime soon.
I'm also taking time to look at the damage numbers here, that sewer is kind of really ahead in their opponents when it comes to damage. They are average 1 to 2k above their own opponent.
Yeah, the lowest one on damage charts is the Morton Man, but look who's on the rotation to take advantage of that. OP Killer, wrap it around. Here comes the Caltrops, but hey, as Odin has a jump away. We're stunned on out, but this is one tanky solo laner, not able to kill this man too easily. In fact, he decides to go back on in and execute rage, not able to dodge it. Morton falls on down. Conjuration Knight gets the kill.
Honestly, oh, they're fighting him in now.
Oh, it's fights all over the place. The Undying Love is going to be good, but not good enough. Hyru's Hinderman waits it out, sits Densfire in the air, but we're still going to survive. Shells abound, keep ourselves alive, but the damage is just too great. Densfire falls on down, not before Ashlyn can take out Music Land.
I do like with like Ganesh that he made sure his mid laner got a kill there, as it seems like he almost knew he probably might die, but he wanted to ensure that Ashlyn gets a kill to help her in mid a little bit more, which is what they need. You definitely want, when you have an Afro mid, you definitely want them to be able to get up and get their build online very, very soon.
Character who farms kind of slow because of their abilities, but hey, the more kills you get, the more farm in your pocket. And TTOSTT stepping forward, and in fact, Hyru's Hinduman has a target set on a Rascali. Stepping forward, not all too aware of it. Here comes the sun, it's going to be good. Beads forced on out. This Honor is going to be safe. Here comes the Desert's Fury just to get some damage off onto Malum, but Malum isn't afraid, standing under the tier 1 tower. Those autos are hitting home, and Rascali is running back to base.
Bringing back the damage again, I see that Agni is now 3k above his mid laner, and I'm not saying that damage wins games, but damage definitely helps apply the pressure. When you already have pressure in your team, constantly reapplying that pressure via damage is just a good way to keep establishing your role above.
I don't think I've seen TTOSTT miss a bomb yet. All of these are hitting home. And and that's very much to account for all this damage. But look at the sewer. As for 11 minutes in the team's jungle, Musi climbing the wall, getting some damage off. Piercing Moonlight, though, it's going to cross throughout the entire team to get some damage. Musi has to use the beads to try and survive, but Hinduman puts one in the sky just to make sure he doesn't fall down just yet. This team fight looking nice and pretty because TTOSTT is able to take down one. High-res Hinduman falls on down, and now Malum goes inside the lamp to take down Ashlyn as well. Music Planet gets that kill, but now Dinsfire walks on into the mouth of the jaws of the beast. These autos are hitting home, but Rascali is here with a full health bar. Music Clan sent to the grave, and the damage is even better. Everyone get out! Here comes the Mez. The damage is good, and look at that damage from the Agni. Dinsfire is low. Stampede forces us out, but TTOSTT is getting in there, but a good impale. Make sure that these bombs don't hit home.
I do love how the Ganesh made sure to protect the Afro during all times during that team fight. It's always a very pivotal point to make if you have an Afro player on your team to make sure that they stay safe and they can kind of free cast a little bit because she doesn't have the range that Agni has, her counterpart here. However, in the midst of him setting up for his Afro, he completely forgot the Aladdin behind who separated her from him and punished her essentially for pushing up so far, even with the safety of her Ganesh beside her.
We're seeing so much improvement from Team as opposed to this first rematch. This game feels so much closer, and it's so fun to watch these roster changes have effect in real time, though. But as Rosie is showing us, the sewer are not letting it make them stumble, still holding themselves a 4K gold lead. These teams are not afraid, and Hinduman sashing in, getting some damage off. Into the sky goes Dinsfire. This elephant has been in the air more than he's been on the ground. Undying Love is going to be good just to make sure our elephant stays alive. But that's two ultimates down, but we're still going forward. TTOSTT has the stuns. TTOSTT has the damage. Burn, baby, burn. Shell forced on out. So our support and mid laner ain't gonna die just yet, but Morty, he sure will.
That is one tanky elephant, might I say. Not to mention with the Afros, you know, her little passive protection she has that she also shares with who she's linked to. So she is making that already tanky Elefante even tankier than he normally is.
Yeah, one tanky elephant, unkillable. Dinsfire doing what he can to silence out and slow this aggression. The sewer picked up the Gold Fury. It's burning down pretty fast, but Rascali able to steal it away, and now Music Clan is falling on it down. Into the sky goes Malum, but he's landing right back down. They want the fight. Malum gets the kill. Dinsfire falls to the grave. Ashlyn right next to the chopping block. This Apollo hitting autos for days and going absolutely insane.
How long do you think this Apollo over damages the Agni? Do you think it's possible? Me personally, I think it is, because I do feel like Apollo is a very heavy hitter, especially when it comes to late game. And if he's able to just basic them for free again like that, with his team setting up for him and basically tanking everything they're giving back to him.
Disperse away from the damage. Rascali saw death flash before their eyes, and now we went a little bit too far. OP Killer gets caught out by Hinduman into the sky, into the grave. Beads a little bit too late, buddy. Malum gets that kill as well. 4-0-4 for the regular C1 for Smite Prime. This guy is going absolutely nuts.
I also want to take this time to mention, I did mention that Warriors Axe that Hinduman is going early games. I admit I wasn't sure at first initially. I don't play Nejat support, but I feel like it really is paying off for him. He is doing more damage than I thought he would, and on top of that, he's pretty tanky too.
A lot of the Smite Prime casters like to talk about this Nejat if it's not good, but Hinduman does not care. This guy basically had begged for the pick to be in the game, and he's going to get some damage off inside of it. This Nejat having the time of its life, but hey, talk about silver linings here. Morty not doing so great in this game, but the sewer want to make sure that he gets a kill in his pocket, put into the cage with the rest of the team on the way. The sewer are here to get revenge for Morty. Conjuration Knight falls on down, burned by the hands of the Agni.
And now they set up for Queen Naga, I think. There are 3 over there at it, while there are 3 in mid. There is a Tsukiyomi nearby who might be watching it, but looks like they've secured it for their team.
Yeah, they're knocking it down, and Hinduman by himself is scaring away 3 members. They're aware of it, but into the lamp sent OP Killer 7, and now Music Clan is fighting them out. That means we're able to get ourselves that Queen Naga, and unfortunately, OP Killer, you're stuck on the wrong side of the map, the wrong dimension as well. OP Killer falls on down, and the sewer just keep finding objectives and keep getting aggressive. Just a single sash was enough to force out that Undying Love, but stuns abound. Make sure that with Inspire set into the sky once again. This elephant has wings, but he also has a life to his name. Dashes into the tower, staying alive. But the rest of the sewer, they're under the tier 1 tower, and they want more.
The sewer has really great, really great, maybe pressure, really great pressure. I see they've been eyeing each objective of their team, and unfortunately, Team Response was eyeing the middle lane objective, which had not spawned yet. So giving up the Queen Naga might not have been the best exchange for them there, and they lost pressure once the sewer rotated back to mid.
The sewer able to play this map extremely well. And they're not afraid yet. Hyru's Handyman standing forward, get some stuns out. Tesdai as well. Under the tower, Sash is going to hit, but Dinspire hits a nice stun, but in fact, it costs you your life. Dinspire falls, but Hinduman gets fatally striked to the grave. Conjuration Knight playing aggressive here, and here is Morton Man. He gets some damage off Undying Love just to keep Ashlyn alive. Conjuration Knight, though, stuck away from the rest of his team. Piercing Moonlight's going to be huge, get some damage on the back line. OP Killer takes out the Odin, but he can't stay alive for much longer. Malum gets that kill. It's a 2-for-3 trade. Team, they have signs of life, but the sewer just keep coming out on top.
It seems like a lot of these fights have recently been favoring the sewer. Not only do they get, they're already ahead. If they get 2 kills and lose 2 teammates, it's kind of fine for them. But on top of that, even though they lost a teammate in that fight, they secure Pyromancer. Yet another objective goes underneath their belt.
Objectives is the name of the game. Gold lead still, though, it's kind of interesting here if you look at the chart. Slowly but surely, it's creeping back down to Team. It used to be a 4K gold lead. Now we're down to 3.6K. Team, you mentioned it. It's anyone's game at Smite 2 here, and they're still definitely in it. They just need to start playing these team fights better. And how can they do that, Raven?
I actually think they're playing their team fights actually rather well. I think it's the positioning when objectives are up. Like, for example, I remember someone told me one time is that if Gold Fury is up, you probably should be keeping your eye on that side of the map. If Fire Giant's up, you should be keeping your eye on that side of the map and probably positioning more towards it, especially if you know the team you are going against is prioritizing objectives over team fights.
Yeah. Team, though, 4 members in the mid lane. They want to get something started, and they want to get it started now. Malum, all the meanwhile, split pushing up that left lane. Have to be in a little bit of trouble, as the rest of the team seem to sniff him out and are aware of it. But hey, we're playing the map. There's just 4 people sitting in mid for kind of nothing. That's still coming up the sewer.
I agree. They've been sitting in mid for quite a little bit now, which is why I think that the sewer is able to secure a couple objectives.
A good Mesmerize going to make sure Malum gets out of this fight. And hey, we're in the chariot. Might as well make our way over to mid lane to get ourselves a kill. Tisdai gets the tower. Musi gets Ashlyn. And we go ahead and land on down on the support. Dinspire falls on down. The next target is this tier 2 tower in mid. Malum, though, has to get out. Morty, a good blink to make sure we don't fall on down. Razkali got a little bit too excited. Burned. OP Killer taken to the grave as well. 4 members down for Team. We got ourselves a tower. Get ourselves 4 kills. Might as well go ahead and pick up a Gold Fury.
This is the only time in the game where I would say that I would never tell you to stay in your own lane. You know what I mean? I feel like at this point in the game, about 20 minutes in the game, when you know these teams are grouping together and they are rotating on individuals and they are rotating on objectives, you might want to be communicating very heavily with your team here about what objective you want to prioritize next and what team fight you feel like you could win.
Yeah, Team, playing great. Let's hold off the brakes a little bit. Let's take our time. Let's get some farm, because your fights, Raven said it. We're seeing it. They look good, but the sewer, they're able to play the map at such a beautiful level, really organizing which buffs they want and which picks they at. These teams, hey, listen, they see this view quite a lot. They know exactly what's happening on the map.
I do really like team fights. It's a weird like tongue twister, team fights, but you know what I mean. I do feel like they have a really good team fight, and I feel like they probably do have good communication going on their side. I just feel like they're lacking when it comes to objectives and objective pressure, and in turn of that, they're losing behind a lot of XP and a lot of gold. So no matter how good you are mechanically or how good you are as a team, you probably might still lose these fights until you're all level 20, and the gold and XP difference matters a lot less.
Very interesting, the builds coming out here. Malum making his job over in the right lane means that's where the sewer are putting their eyes on here. Morty walking under the tower. A good ultimate is going to keep OP Killer inside of it and sends him once more to the gray screen. OP Killer taken on down, and the next one is Conjuration Knight. Damage is insane, and it is beautiful. Morty gets himself a kill. Up, down for 1. And Dinspire is here. Dharmic Pillars as well. Undying Love straight into it. Make sure to we try to survive, but Sinlin is taking so much damage. Not gonna die just yet though, is able to speed her way on out of there. But Malum, these autos are hitting home. Everyone on team is so low except for Rascali.
During this time, I see that the sewer also made sure to secure Pyromancer on top of getting them to rotate from mid to solo. But by the time they rotated from mid to solo, Team's team was, well, picked off a little bit. And now I think they're trying to pick them off a little bit more to set up for possibly a Fire Giant fight.
Uh-oh. Might be a Fire Giant fight, might just be a fight in general. Malum in the sky, landing under the tier 2 tower. Music gets the kill and sends one into the lamp. All the meanwhile on the outside, Malum is making sure those autos hit home. Rascali falls, loses the duel. OP Killer, though, on the rotation, kills Music Clan. And now Conjuration Knight dodged out by the damage, but we can't dodge the Piercing Moonlight. Taken down, triple kill for OP Killer. 7 damage is going to be good. It's beautiful. And this fight, it's coming up team. 2 members left alive. Hindu Man can't help. It's all up to Morty to get these kills, and he's surely going to try it. The auto, a little bit off the mark. Morton, man, you can do it. Chase after him, and it's going to be good. Morty takes out OP Killer. 7, and the next one on the chopping block is Conjuration Knight. Hindu Man is still here. We got the sustain, we got the damage, and we might as well got the kill. Morty's got the damage. Conjuration Knight falls, and even though the team fight looked good, the sewers still come out on top.
I was really hoping for team right there, I'm not gonna lie, because it was 2v2 at that point. You know, most of these fights so far have been a 3v2 or a 4v1 even sometimes. They've been sure to, Sewer has been sure to get people out of their comfort zone and kind of find them when they're vulnerable. But for once, we see an even 2v2 fight, and it could have been anyone's at that moment. And in fact, I thought for a moment there, Hindu Man might die. But unfortunately, Sewer has secured 2 more kills, and now they are all spawned back up, ready to set up for a next objective.
They most definitely could have gotten the Fire Giant. They decided to go for the kill and, well, bragging rights for this game. And hey, talk about bragging rights. I owe you about $5 because look at the damage charts. Reeking the top of it is Malum, able to overtake that Agni. That just shows you how much this team loves to fight.
I did call it. Oh, wait, they're both fighting for it. They're both fighting for top damage right now. I did say that I do have faith that this Apollo is probably going to take top damage, especially towards the end of the game from the Agni, just because of how heavy the hitter Apollo is and how well Malum's playing this character.
Heavy hitters also, Music Clan going after Conjuration Knight. Damage is going to be good. We have the dashes, but we have the Fatal Strike. Get on back to town. The dashes are going to be good, but we're still chasing him down. That lamp hits. It's going to hit every day of the week because Music Clan is piloting this Aladdin so beautifully. But Malum, though, hey, we sent 4 over to kill him. That's good. ADC off the map means these objectives are going to be ever harder to get.
I see team signing up for a Gold Fury objective clear right now, but Encounters, Sewer seems to be eyeing this Fire Giant.
Yeah, and hey, that's the bigger, better objective on the map. The Sewer able to start slowly burning down this Fire Giant. All the meanwhile, team able to steal away that Gold Fury, but it doesn't seem like we're aware. Well, or at least if we are, it doesn't matter because we're nowhere near. Hindu Man secures the Fire Giant, got a dagger in the pocket of old Morton Manuel. The Sewer give themselves a big buff on 4 members of the team.
We got a dagger and a couple pyro bombs, I see, ready to apply more pressure to these, you know, middle tower, middle objective, middle phoenix, whatever comes to mind. They're securing another pyro bomb, so they really are saving up for these, I would assume, towers and phoenixes, but they can also save it for the next objective, which won't be spawning for a minute now, but, you know, to each their own.
Listen, we get all the objectives off the map. That means we get a chance to breathe and relax. Nobody should be fighting right now. I really put emphasis on should because the Sewer have shown that they have blood in their eyes. They are hungry for the kill. And I mean, Hindu Man's already hitting sashes on the backline, 3 members, but hey, you can just do that when you don't take any damage.
Hindu Man is making sure to constantly apply pressure and keep them a little bit scared underneath their tower, even though, right, initially, all they could see in front of them was the Odin and Hindu Man, and he still respected them. I do give Team credit for that, for respecting Sewer, to know that there's definitely not just 2 of them. There's probably someone hiding around somewhere waiting for them to step out of that tower and out of their safety.
Where there's two, there's a lot more. Where there's a Hindu man, there's a sash. And when there's a sash, there's in the sky. This elephant set to the sky once more. Morton takes out Ashlyn. The rings are down, but the damage is going to be on good. This elephant stepped up a little bit too far, so he's taken to the grave. Music Clan gets that kill, and now 2 members are down. TTOSTT dashing on forward, gets a double stun, double damage, and now Malum finds Conjuration Knight. 3 members down for Team Official. Smite Team, and we're going to keep on going, though. But Morty is taken down. Can't pop the dagger. OP Killer pockets that one in his favor, and now, hey, it's looking good for Team, but still, you got 4 members knocking on the base. It doesn't look like they're gonna stop just yet. We're still walking on forward. Malum, it's doing some damage. Music Clan, though, has the damage in spades. Razzie Gal falls on down, and 4 members of the sewer, they're here for the Titan. They're here for the game. We pop the ritual. We pop the damage. Piercing Moonlight, though, takes out Hinderman to the grave. OP Killer, can he do it? No, he can't. Dagger not gonna be good. TTOSTT gets the kill, but Ashlyn is here, and we got some damage of our own. This dagger is trading hands with everybody. Music Clan falls. TTOSTT is the only one left alive, and Team defend the base.
I do feel like that was a very, very brave pull from the sewer, considering there are 2 towers and 2 phoenixes up. And as we don't know, Titan does receive protections from the amount of things that are up around him, by the way. So you can't just run into Titan like that. Not usually, okay? But I don't blame them either for wanting to win this game and, put it into it to make sure they can stay ahead. However, I do want to say, I think it's time to say that I will compare the sewer to basically spiders. Because think about a spider, especially a house spider. If you see one of them, there's 2 you can't see at least.
Once again, where there's 2, there's a lot more. These sewer guys, bloodlusty, blood hungry, and they're just going for the fight. 2 tier 2 towers still left on the map. Come on, guys, we can still get this Titan. But no, they couldn't. And a phenomenal defense from OP Killer 7. That Piercing Moonlight hit everybody and sends the rest of the sewer back to the grave. And unfortunately, that Titan was just a little bit too tanky. But despite losing the fight, look at the rest of the team. Hinduman sees Raz Kali getting up a little bit too aggressive, and this on her is not going to have a great time because he's put into the sky once more, and TTOSTT is here to let these damage flow. Here comes the burn, here comes the damage. Raz Kali falls on down, Hinduman gets the kill, and that's an ADC off the map.
I'm going to say, once again, the sewer are like my little spiders. I love to see them like this. The moment I see Hinduman rotating by himself, not shortly after, there's an Agni right behind him, ready to follow up on anything he's got. So as soon as this on here saw Hinduman, he knew what was about to happen. He knew someone else was about to come out of there. The spiders waiting in the cracks of your walls for you to fall asleep.
Waiting to find someone, snatch them up in a cocoon, and find their next target, find their next meal. The sewer get themselves a tier 2 tower, and they're knocking on the base once more. No ADC to defend for another 20 seconds, and that's going to be the sewer's go button for this fight. Damage from TTOSTT is just beautiful. So much bombs, dropping so much burn. That's a good poke for this dance, but so far, they don't have the sustain, they don't have the minions, they can't jump up too far.
Remember how we mentioned the book talk thing yesterday? I'm gonna pull another reference out from that, guys. I'm gonna headcanon some of these players, okay? And I'm gonna headcanon the sewer as those primordial evil spiders from Lord of the Rings that, when you see one of them, there's several of them planning on your downfall.
The Eldritch Demons are here. Morty gets the kill into Dense Fire, and that's the first one of this fight. OP Killer, though, finds Malum, who went a little bit too far. Music Clan trying his best to not die to anyone here. Morty stepping forward to keep the rest of Team out of this fight, but he's got to be trouble because Conjuration Knight is on his arrears for some damage. Hinduman has the peel, so Morty's going to survive yet another day, but it was an ADC for a support trade. That's not looking good if you're the sewer.
No, it's not. I also do think that with an Afro on their team, they do have Team has a better defense, in my opinion. Might not have the best objective secure, but they do have a better defense when it comes to defending underneath their towers and underneath their Phoenix. And it looks like they're reapplying that pressure they've made from defending onto the sewer right now, which is good. You don't want
they're chasing him down. Conjuration Knight falls on down to TTOSTT. Muzi climbing the walls. He's here, full health, looking for the kill. Able to find OP Killer with a huge damage. And now we are continuing to run it down. Low health bars, it doesn't matter. TTOSTT is here and able to get a kill. Morty falls on down, but Muti takes out this cat. The only one left alive is the elephant to defend the base, but the sewer, we've seen them try to kill the game with just 2 tier 2 towers left on the map. They got 4 members, low health bars. Do you think they can do it?
I think it depends how this fight goes, and it looks like they might be able to. Let's see.
Yeah, looks
As
beautiful
long
when
as
you're able
they're...
to take out this elephant.
Oh yeah,
And now
absolutely.
4 members running it down. 2 phoenixes all the way taken to the grave. We got 4 members left alive, and Malum is here with a full health bar, a full ADC. 5 members down for team. The sewer walk into the base. Here comes the wish. Here comes the damage, and here come the minions. Here comes the Titan pulling on down, slowly falling, but the damage is too big. It's too fast. We can't defend again. The sewer take game number 1.
I feel like I do appreciate Team pushing up a little bit towards the end there when they had secured a couple kills underneath their Phoenix with defending, but unfortunately, once again, the sewer just has that, the spider thing. I can't let go of it. It's like they all have this hive mind connected. The moment one of them jumps on one person, the other 2 people are immediately right behind, following up with their own CC and damage.
These team fights were just beautiful from the sewer from minute 1.
Absolutely.
Playing the map just better. Playing team fights a little bit better. But hey, if you're team, that is so much of an improvement from last week. This draft is certainly in a step in the right direction, right? These players had a great moments, especially OP Killer, able to try and rein in the game and keep them in. But unfortunately, when you step to the sewer, you got to come correct. And unfortunately, they did not do that in this first game. But hey, don't worry. This is a best of 3. We still got at least 1 more game ahead of us unless team can take us to 2. Do you think they'll be able to do it? Find out right after this short break. Hello, one and all, and welcome back to the Animosity Smite League. My name is Moonmellows. I'm still joined here by Raven, and we just had a phenomenal game number one. The sewer won extremely convincingly yet again. Raven, how are you feeling as we head into game number two?
I'm really excited to see these picks of bands right now. I see the first one heading off is Ishtar again. They have the same bands, right? The bands carry over, I believe, but the picks are different.
No.
The bands do not carry over.
Yeah, it gets confusing. I know, believe me, I got confused the first time too. This is one of the few leagues where we actually don't have fearless bans. So now we get to see a little bit of play here, right? Aladdin taken away from Yuzi this time as a direct call out. And in fact, Thor following that up. It seems like the game plan from Team is to take away these junglers picks.
I'm really excited to see what Team picks here now that, you know, they got their first game out of the way. I want to see if they feel like there are certain picks that just were not up to par for them in their team play, or if they feel like it was just solely miscommunication, not objectives. Me personally, I think their picks were very good. I think they worked together really well. I just feel like they lacked in objective secure, and sewers seem to be like hungry dogs on the prowl waiting to get any kind of objective secure very soon and very quickly. As soon as it spawns, they made sure to secure it.
It felt like they were going after objective secure, and they were also going after anything that basically moved.
Oh yeah.
They got too much and they were like, I want you. And they took them down. Tsukiyumi is definitely going to be a huge pick for the sewer here. First pick overall. Taking that away from OP Killer is also a huge play, right? I feel like that guy played it so well and so beautifully, but Emoja wasn't banned, so that means Emoja is going to be picked for Team here. Do you agree with this kind of direction change from Team?
I feel like it's a little got you moment because I see the sewer snatching away Tsukiyomi from Team after he played really well on it. And now they're making, and in response to that, Team's like, well, we're going to pick Emoji then, so we know you guys don't like that. You know, we're going to pick Emoji, we're going to have a wall, and we're getting an Achilles on top of that. So if you get stuck in that wall when you're in execution range, you're not going anywhere but the grave.
Yeah. We love the grave here. Might as well go to the graveyard. Conjuration Knight. Let's give props where it's deserved. That guy played so freaking good in game number one. Able to solo kill out Morty. Well, not solo kill, but able to take down El Morton Manuel. But now an Ardio and a Shock lock in for the sewer. I'm not seeing any game plan changes from game number one. This team still wants to run it down.
They went from Ardio to Geb. You know, I was actually liking the Ardio pick a little bit because of the cancel you could do for the Emoja dash, the little Emoja portal, and of course the Achilles annoying dash he does, the little double poke dash poke. Yeah, but now we have a Geb.
Now,
I think it's a solid
you probably
pick.
I was gonna say, you probably don't know the lore behind this. Last week, Morton picked this Geb in solo lane.
Geb
if he does
solo?
that again, I'm tackling him. I think it's on site if he does it again.
Geb solo, or is it just straight Geb solo?
Just regular Geb. I don't know if it's gonna be picked this time. I'm not sure if they're gonna unleash the Morton man this game, so it's gonna be hard to see it here. But surely it won't be with Poseidon and Cupid rounding out their draft. And now Certanos Loki pulled up to Team. They have one last pick overall here, but I gotta mention it again. The sewer still favoring the aggression idea.
Absolutely, but I do want to commend Team's pick on the Loki because much like his brother Thor, I think they are both really good at pressure. I've seen a couple Loki solos and supports, but I will stand by the fact that I think Loki jungle is a really annoying late game boss, and not because he's constantly applying pressure, but because he is in your back lane. When you don't see him, gets a kill, disappears again, and you won't see him again for the 10 seconds at least.
Not going to see him for 10 seconds, and we're also not going to see Emoja in the support role. Ganesha 10th picked overall. Is this going to be an Aspect Emoja in the mid lane?
I would love to see it. It's been a long time since I've seen Aspect Emoja in mid. I actually do like her Aspect. I think it's really, really annoying, to be frank. But I can see the downfall when it comes to not having that stun in her kit.
Stun does make up a lot of Emoja's utility, but who needs utility when you got a bouncing bubble killing everyone for tons of damage?
Like a Zeus Chain Lightning.
Yeah, but it's less like shocking and more drowning. It feels like it's dangerous, lovely, and I'm here for it. I'm really excited to see. I hope it's Ashlyn picking this up, or maybe Ashlyn decides to go for a Ganesha aspect, which is going to be totally out of left field, and I will scream if that happens.
But like you mentioned before, it's a bit more attention on the sewer team comp. I do notice they have a lot of circular abilities and ults, with a Poseidon ult, a Shock ult, and a Cupid ult, all big circles that are going to take up that lane.
Hey, listen, I love geometry, but the easiest circle out there, it's a big circle. His abilities inside the
Absolutely.
circle, everyone's going to be hit inside of it. Geb, Chalk, Poseidon, Cupid, you're right to mention it.
Hard to miss those circles
Yeah.
and hard to get out of them when they have two cripples, one from the Cupid ult and one from the Poseidon Whirlpool.
We talked about having the spider web from last game. I see it here now, right? That Cupid Fields of Love is pretty much being stuck in the spider's web, and if you're stuck in there, there's a Kraken heading your way anytime soon.
Absolutely. The spiders helping each other.
Yeah, but hey, we're ready to see the spider web in action, and we're ready to see if Team can bring us to game number 3. Can they do it? We'll find out here in game number 2 as we get to look at these picks and bans, and oh my god, what the heck is the Sewers team comp?
Is that a
Raven?
Suki support?
No, it's a Suki ADC, Cupid support, Chalk mid, Geb solo, Poseidon jungle. Every god is going in a different role than what it should.
I see a bit of a little friendly romance going on between Ashlyn and TTOSTT right now. Is it sisterhood? Is it friendship? Is it love? We don't know.
Oh,
But I hope
think it's a party.
Oh, I think it's more than a party. A party that we should not be mentioning.
They're dancing. They're dancing. There's music playing. It's you know what? Just dancing a little bit here in the mid lane.
Those kind of dance moves will get reported to HR very quickly. Might I mind? Like, might I add that real quick? Guys, do not replicate the things you see performed in the stream.
Oh, hey. Besides that. Every god from the sewer, talk about like just feeling confident in yourselves to pull a draft out like this. You have so much here to talk about, Raven. I'm kind of jealous. I mean, where are we even going to start? Cupid support?
Teehee, let's see. I noticed a war flag on that Cupid support, and I do see the appeal for it. I know war flag got buffed a little bit back. I think it was a couple patches back. I have not really seen it built that much, though, to be honest with you. But at that extra 10% attack speed, I feel like that's going to definitely help with a Cupid support. I wonder if he's going to go into Arrow's bow at any point in his build, though. I do see that built usually on Cupid supports. You know, having the ability to link to your teammate, kind of like an Afro link, but not, I suppose, and being able to heal them with just your basics. And basics are arguably a pretty, you know, consistent thing to be able to hit almost.
A different god of love able to lock themselves into this game and be a support this time, and unfortunately not really having the greatest time here. A lot of damage being pushed over into the dual lane, but I mean the sewer, they're playing aggressive. I feel like once they hit level 3 we might start seeing some sparks fly early.
I do like to mention that, you know, technically Cupid is Afro's son. I guess it is a different mythology though, but they are related, so it does make sense they would both have some sort of healing for one another. I do like that he has the hearts, and like I said, if he does go Arrow's bow, he does have a good position of healing, as well as a cripple and his giant, you know, ult. And I see a Poseidon is also eyeing this duo lane.
Yeah, he's here nice and early, but a good ward from Din's Fire, make sure he was sniffed on out. So, well, Musie's not going to be able to get too much in Kill's way of that, but some more farm is heading their way. All the meanwhile, though, OP Killer is definitely playing the map as well of their own. Went to a nice gank for solo lane, but it doesn't matter when Morty's not home.
I agree. I also wanted this time to be like, hey guys, this is why we have free wards. Those wards right there possibly save Duo's life. Being able to know when someone is rotating on you, especially because you are going to get these nice little early ganks that happen, especially if the jungle feels like you are vulnerable. And if you do not utilize that free ward you get, then I mean, you kind of are free pickings.
Free pickings here. TTOSTT stepping forward. OP Killer has stepped into Chalk's jungle. Welcome to the jungle, baby. TTOSTT shooing OP Killer away from their own side of the map, all the way back to base. Not going to get much for it, but hey, you love the aggression. And Morty, well, we're getting ourselves some rocks.
I love your bit on the welcome to the jungle, and it kind of helped me imagine a shock skin for Kiss, maybe. You know?
Oh,
Just
I
a
miss the
little,
slip
or
snot skins.
I do. Oh, don't even get me started on those. I do miss the Slipknot skins, absolutely. However, I understand why they're probably not going to ever be in Smite 2, that's understandable. Um,
Musi able to steal away this blue buff from Conjuration Knight, but TTOSTT is here as well as Ashlyn. Here comes the River's Rebuke, and the damage is going to be good. Shell also well and nice, but Music Clan falls on down for first blood. Ashlyn gets that kill, but Morton Man is here, but not able to get the kill. TTOSTT takes down Conjuration Knight. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, but that's not over just yet because Hyru's Hindu Man is in trouble in the duo lane. Sewer able to survive, but OP Killer, he's made a rotation over to the duo lane.
I do like that emoji here on Ashlyn. The Ashlyn on emoji, I do like that she is using her 1 primarily as a form of damage. I see a lot of emojis only ever using their 2. So seeing her ult and then use her 1 as consistent damage when they're already closed in such a small field, they can't really escape her damage from her 1. I think it's really good on that. On top of that, it slows. It might not stun, but it does slow.
Okay. Slows are beautiful when it comes down to this game, but Ashlyn seems to sniff out TTOSTT. Tez, are you playing mid or are you playing jungle? I've seen you over here in this camp way more times to count. Made our way back over to the mid lane just to clear our wave, get some farm, and, well, put Ashlyn even further back under her tier 1 tower. Listen, the kills are even. The gold, actually, though, favoring Team a little bit.
I am surprised the gold's favoring Team a little bit, but I'm not sure how much longer that's going to be lasting if this shock pulls off getting 3 red buffs very early in.
Yeah, getting 3 red buffs, but look on the left side of the map. It's a time for a 3v3. Razkali has been caught on out. The beads are a little bit late, and Hinduman gets that kill. Piercing Moonlight is going on. Damage is beautiful. Dinsfire is in trouble because he's getting stunned on out. Rotations from the mid lane. Ashlyn is here to put some damage, but Malum is playing this game beautifully. But here comes the Assassinate, able to take out Music Clan. Hinduman, though, able to send OP Killer to the grave. 2 members down for our Musi. And hey, you know what? Might as well be a fair trade.
It's unfortunate that Loki could not get his invis back off in time, as he had to kill his invis back up, but he couldn't get it back off in time because his little slash fury was still going on. I'm not sure if he could have gotten out with it though.
Oh, not getting out either is Ashlyn. They fall on down to TTOSTT, but OP Killer 7 is here. The Aegis is going to be good, but not. Nope, it's perfect. TTOSTT survives, runs back home. And now OP Killer is facing the wrath of Musi. How dare you kill me? I'm going to pop some damage your way just to make sure this Loki has to run with their tail between their legs.
OP Killer 77 there with that little Loki decoy body block on the shock was pretty impressive, but unfortunately close but no cigar, as he did not manage to secure the kill after. But at least he didn't get killed for it either.
Yeah. I think the second time we've came over to Morton in this solo lane, second time in 2 different sets where he is just not having the greatest early game, and it's all on Conjuration Knight, right? This guy playing this Achilles pick, kind of just owning the lane and making sure Mort has a really hard time until those team fights roll around.
I do agree that Mort's probably not going to have the easiest early or even early mid game here, but I am very curious to see how this Geb solo plays out in the late game for his team. I wonder if it's going to save them a lot more, or if it's going to punish them for not having the equivalent of a frontliner to the Achilles on the enemy team.
I wonder if it also makes up for Hinduman playing this Cupid. Malum here goes for the 1v1, but Razkali is not shying away. The damage is good, and even better, Malum falls on down. How dare you go for the 1v1? The Certanos is going to win that one every day of the week. Hinduman's here in the mid lane, trying to get something aggressive started, but hey, we're under our tower. No one else has fallen just yet.
The more I look at these team comps, the more they get confusing to me, if I'm honest with you. I keep forgetting who is who because of the shock mid lane and then the Cupid support. I mean, I can't say it's the horrible pick. I don't think it is. You know.
Oh, Ashlyn sent to the grave. Musi's in trouble because, well, Dinsfire is taken out back. Gun to the head, sent to the grave. Ashlyn stepped forward, got stunned out, and she falls on down.
I do believe that if your teammates are good enough with quote-unquote non-conventional characters and different roles, I believe like you guys could pull it off. You know what I mean? It's gonna come down to communication and teamwork, of course, and of course your mechanical skill with that character and being able to play them in a non-traditional role. But can the sewer continue to do it? It looks like so far it has been in their advantage.
Sewer once again showing why they are casters, playing this map beautifully. They've seen it time and time again. They know how to own the pressure, own the lane. TTOSTT once again owning this red buff. We've gone for about 3 buff invades in a row. Now it might be in trouble here because Malum is going in for some damage, but it's not a 1v1 anymore. Raskali has to dash on out of way, but Hinduman is here for the damage. But everyone else from Team is here as well. Hinduman falls, Malum falls. How dare you try and disrespect the 1v1? You're going to fall on down to the grave. This duo lane not looking as hot.
Setting up for Gold Fury too. I do love that beautiful Ganesh ult into the Emoja ult. It was like their minds were synced for a moment there because they ulted at the same time.
Musi a little bit off the mark, but he's still able to steal it away regardless. Gold Fury goes for the sewer, and you know what? It doesn't matter if we don't get the kills, because at least we got ourselves an objective once more. Kills 9 minutes in, favoring favoring the sewer, excuse me, as well as gold with a solid 1k gold lead. But this game is looking so much more even as compared to that first game.
Absolutely. I do feel like now it very much is kind of once again, that back and forth pool we've mentioned before in a different time. I always love to see those more, you know what I mean? I love to see a team back and forth pool of will they or won't they, who's going to win, who's going to get a hate message after the game. I'm kidding. Stuff like that. I do see that this poor Geb has a Loki belt.
Yeah, Loki's prowling, but a good Aegis gonna make sure we stay alive for just a little bit longer. And this Geb, he's got the schmoves, and in fact, he's gonna roll on out of town. Morty, you can't kill this man on the Geb just as easily as he would like, jumping over the wall. This Rock living for days.
I do, I do love the Rock immediately turning into rock form and just scootling along past the rocks and past the red buff to safety in his own team's arms.
Oh, Musi is here, and the damage is beautiful. OP Killer's decided to step forward and take some damage for trying to do it. Dodges out the damage, but it's not good enough because Music Clan hits those autos every day of the week, and we're still going forward, still getting some damage. Listen, the KDA might not look beautiful, but the plays sure are.
I do love that Loki ult. Unfortunately, he could have gotten off just a second or 2 seconds earlier and avoided that cripple damage from Poseidon.
Yeah. The cripple damage just a little bit too good, and Musi playing pretty nice on this Poseidon. These wacky picks kind of slowly showing why we picked them, right? And slowly kind of coming together. These team fights are very beautiful. It's like you see the stars align, the Shock Ultimate, the Storm Call, and also the next team fight going on forward. Ashlyn gets the back off, but the rest of the sewer is here. Hinduman stuck inside the Darwin pillars, but he's gonna dash to get on out. But he's still gonna fall on down regardless. Dinsfire gets a kill. Musi falls on down to OP Killer. We step too far and the damage is beautiful. Malum has the Piercing Moonlight to try and get out, but unfortunately the damage is too good, too late. Beats forced on out. Malum falls to Ashlyn, and now it's only TTOSTT versus 4. The damage is good, but not good enough. TTOSTT is gonna fall here shortly, and team coming out on top.
Though Ashlyn did miss her ult there when the Tsukiyomi was ulting around his little, his little ult, whatever. As sometimes it does get confusing about where is he going to land sometimes with that ult. But she immediately made up for it by landing all of her ones, by the way. Just pow, 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 pow. I know that's never fun to go against. I hate it personally when an emoji can land every single one of those ones on you, or even just a couple straight in a array. Because not only getting slowed, but it's just that damage from, the emoji mid. Especially because she has Bluestone straight into Spear Desolation.
Yeah, Ashlyn is putting on a clinic this game, playing absolutely phenomenally and out of her mind. I love this pick from her, right? The Aphrodite had its moments, sure, but this Umoja feels much more like home, and she's playing it so well. Hinduman, though, gonna get aggressive, get some more damage on off of it. Dinsfire, though, that's one tanky elephant. We said it in game 1. We'll keep saying it in game number 2. Ain't no one falling in this mid lane just yet.
I do feel like Umoja is the character for Ashlyn here to, kind of shine. I feel like she really is shining with Umoja, especially earlier during that Gold Fury fight, when she and the Ganesh ulted together at the same time, and their walls perfectly aligned together, so you really couldn't go left, right, front, back, anywhere.
This Shock is never in any danger. A good storm call, make sure we're safe, and an Aegis is even beautiful. Rascali can be in the duo lane all we want, or in the mid lane, excuse me, all we want, but TTOSTT, we're just one nice, safe jungle here. But damage is going to be here. Here comes the Fields of Love, and the damage is beautiful. River's Rebuke as well. Piercing Moonlight means we're going to strike and take a bunch of damage on the back end of it. Malum falls. Hindu Man once again sees the gray screen. The sewer are down 2 members, and Team once again are up on top.
River's Rebuke once again living up to its name, because once those walls came up, it seemed to deter the rest of the sewer team.
A huge silence means Morty can't use that Cataclysm the way he wants to, but it doesn't matter because he hits 2 people anyway. This Geb is doing damage. The Aegis is good, but we're able to take out Loki. Musi falls in the back, but this Morton man doing what he can to survive, being silenced out by an elephant, just means he's gonna stay alive not too much longer. Mort falls on down. TTOSTT has to channel the back. And team, hey, complete flip around from game number 1. Used to, game number 1, it felt like the sewer always came out on top. The past 3 fights, I don't think team have lost.
I love a little switcheroo like that, really keeping the edge of your seat, you know? It's always fun to watch people really throw you for a whirl this time around. I do really feel like Ashlyn is really shining here as one of the team MVPs in my opinion. Currently, this could change. I really think she's holding together these team fights with that River's Rebuke. It's so annoying, and I watched it last fight kind of deter the rest of the sewer team members to not even want to step up to help the rest of their team because of the chance of getting stuck in that River's Rebuke with the rest of them.
Stuck in the cage. We've seen it in game number 1 with the Odin. We saw it here once again. But hey, this time Ashlyn's piloting those walls, and it's looking pretty good. But hey, even though the sewer are behind now, 2k gold, 14 minutes in, doesn't really dissuade their aggression yet. They're still stepping forward. They do not respect the damage from team, and I feel like that's kind of where they're going a lot wrong in these fights.
Absolutely. They did respect that River's Rebuke, but it seems they don't respect anyone else's damage here, including a sneaky little Loki constantly prowling around in the back.
Yeah, he's prowling around, but this Loki finds a Cupid in the jungle, but he's not scared anymore because Hindu Man, what are you gonna do? Good stun, good heart bomb's gonna be good, and Morty takes down Conjuration Knight. The sewer get themselves a kill, and now they're being favored in this fight. Ashlyn poked down a little bit low, but here's the River's Rebuke. Stops everyone from fighting, but that means the Storm Call is gonna be even beautiful. Knocks everyone up, and a Riptide sends us back out of the fight. Hindu Man falls down to OP Killer. TTOSTT's next up on the chopping block. Malum falls. We lose yet another fight in mid.
But are we securing an objective in exchange for the rest of our teammates? It's like a sacrifice almost.
And beautiful sacrifice they're willing to take. The sewer able to take away the Queen Naga, but can you get away with it with your life? Inspire is here and the damage is good. Musi utilizes that Aegis perfectly to stay alive. Now Mort, this slippery Geb, hey, we've seen him get out from worse, and he's definitely going to survive this time.
Yeah, Musi not only being, well, Poseidon with those, the movement speed boost he has, but he's also building Gem of Focus to really help with that. Not only is that going to provide him to be able to get around the jungle much quicker, as he is Jungle Poseidon, but he can also get out of these, scary team fights if not going his way.
Musi able to be extremely fast, extremely speedy, a race car, this Poseidon is, and able to do a lot of burst damage as well. Kind of exciting to see these plays here from the team. They decided, hey, we're losing these team fights, focusing these objectives a little bit more, and in fact, they're going to start doing that once again. The sewer picking up the Gold Fury, and the only one close enough to even try to steal it away is Rascali, hiding in the bush. I'm not sure if they're able to do it because the ritual's been popped, and they're going to burn it the best they can. It's fast, it's slow, but the Kraken is here. They're able to secure it for themselves. The sewer get the second Gold Fury of the game, and Morton forces out a River's Rebuke in the back.
I think Musi is like our personal Lightning McQueen on this one, but I do really like.
Ciao.
I like how sewer is kind of like, I feel like at this point in the game they're kind of realizing their team fights have not been very up, like how they were last game. They're not really up to par right now. They're not dominating as they were last game. So in exchange, they're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're going to focus on team's weakness, which seems to be objective secure. We learned that from last game. And so now sewer is prioritizing objective secures over these team fights, or even caring about winning team fights, even sacrificing some of their members if it means securing another objective.
Hey, that's what you need to win a game whenever you ever lose these team fights. In fact, Might be double here. Dash caught out by Razkali, but a good polymorph makes sure we stay alive. But Malum is going for the kill, and he finds those autos hit home every day of the week. That's how you kill a Cernanos, Malum.
Absolutely, and though kills are beautiful, as you can see the gold comparison, despite there being a 6 kill difference, the sewer is actually up on gold, almost 1k difference.
Hey, kills aren't all what matter.
Oh yeah, that really goes to show the power that objective secure really does have, and how good they are for your team.
We're stepping forward here, but 2 members on the rotation are here. OP Killer and Inspire. That means Hinduman stepped up too far, as well as Malum. We fall down to the grave. A good bait from Team. No wards means, hey, we don't know if there's a Loki hiding in our bush.
Absolutely, and they did secure the Gold Fury, but they did not secure the left lane tower, unfortunately. But they do still have pushers.
Hey, pushers, that's what you need. What you need in life. TTOSTT needs to get out of this spot of the jungle. And this is the 5th time we've come over to them and they're just playing aggressive, but this time looks like they're making a little field trip over to the solo lane. Conjuration Knight might be in a little bit of trouble because TTOSTT is looking for the damage. Morty stepping forward, and in fact, this Achilles is in trouble. Stormcall dodged out by the combat dodge and a fatal strike to go ahead and put TTOSTT a ring around the Rosie. We still fall on down. Conjuration Knight sent to the grave, and Aegis forced on out.
And like I mentioned before, I do love that our mid laner on the sewer team is a bit of a hungry hippo. He is constantly looking for the next bit of farm he can secure. And I do like that because despite their kill difference, he is the same level as his opponent.
Yuzi able to get 2 kills in this fight. Hungry Hippo falls on down to the grave with Morty following along as well. But Dinsfire is going to be next up on the chopping block, sent to their death. Music Land gets a triple kill, Plan on fire, and Sewer took their lessons. They breathed a little bit and went, that's how we win a team fight.
Absolutely. It seems like Sewer really played to their advantages there better than they have been in a couple of the past team fights. And they're keeping a pressure applied to this poor Cernanos who dare to step foot in his own jungle.
How dare you step up here? Don't you know this is TTOSTT's hunting grounds? We know we're not off the map and just respawn here just yet, but TTOSTT, I'm pretty sure they've marked their territory here more times than I can count.
TTOSTT is the annoying multi-dollar billionaire who wants to buy up all the land.
Hear that, TTOSTT? When you watch this back, just know you're a colonizer. Colonizing the team's jungle.
Initially, essentially, yes. I mean, it is kind of crazy. You are dominating both sides of the XP map. Both sides. You're dominating your side. You're securing your red buff. You're even sometimes securing poor Ashland's red buff too. It's a little bit unfair to her. But despite that, I think because he's managed to do that, he stays up in levels with her despite the 5 kill difference between the 2 of them.
Yeah, Hinduman has stepped forward, but Malum is here with the piercing moonlight. Damage is going to be good. Comes out, shells abound. Malum trying his best to get the kill. It's able to find it, but at the cost of his own life. Musi is here, and a huge Kraken knocks up 2. Hinduman falls on down, and now Musi's going to follow as well. OP Killer credited with that kill, but here is the hungry hippo looking for a kill. The elephant still survives, so these animals not going to get a kill just yet.
I love Ashland's play right there. If you look at her build, she is full damage, but despite that, she did not let it, you know, she didn't let it interact with her. She stood there in front of her teammate to body block for him. Even if she was full damage, she's still Guardian at heart, you know what I mean? She made sure that she could help him for as long as she could and also deal a bunch of damage and then get out scotch-free on top of that.
You can take the Emoja out of the support role, but you can't take the supporter out of the Emoja. Great plays from Ashland to keep the team alive. And kind of a switch up here in the mid laners, right? TTOSTT last game was like, what, something insane, like 11-3. Well, Ashland said, well, it's my turn to pop off this time. Morty made a rotation over, stepped up a little bit too far, but hey, this Geb, he's not in trouble any day of the week.
Ashland's time to shine, I see it is, because she is reapplying that pressure. Even though she might have lost her mid lane, she has not lost her heart in the battle.
Okay, Star-Crossed Lovers once again stepping forward to fight. 4 members on the rotation. Morty and TTOSTT might have stepped up a little bit too far forward. Silence is going to be good, but Morty is stunned on out, and TTOSTT is taking tons of damage. Cataclysm hits 3 in the back line. That's going to be good enough to keep our Shock alive. River's Rebuke off the mark, and here comes the Fields of Love to stop the onslaught of Team. The Sewer have gotten a bunch of huge ultimates and relics off the map.
You know, it's funny you mentioned the star-crossed lover thing again. It's gonna be our running bit from now on, I suppose. But it does remind me at the very beginning when the Umoja and the Shock were having a funny little dance battle before,
It was a
Poseidon came
dance.
on with the
It was a dance.
before the
It
Poseidon
was a
came in with the HR
dance.
complaint. Um, I think it went from to me it went from maybe friendship to enemies to maybe possibly lovers, depending on how this game goes.
You know what? I'll read that book any day of the week. Right. Hindu Man playing the god of love, able to pull some strings here, I'm sure, to make that happen. And also pulling some strings to get the sewer back into this game. 23 minutes in. The sewer now once again pulling themselves up to a 3K gold lead. It's looking pretty good. Hey, who cares if you're behind in kills? When you got the gold, that's what matters.
Absolutely, which is why I said it feels like the stark difference between Smite 1 and Smite 2 is that kills seem
Oh,
to be replaceable with XP.
Hindu Man steps far too forward, but it doesn't matter because, well, I guess Cupid's support is quite tanky and quite ready to get aggressive. The sewer, though, leash the Gold Fury, and the rest of Team are aware of it. Morton, the lone rock, doing his best to keep the team forced out. Stuns 3, so that means that we're still looking at this Gold Fury, but the secure is not going to be good enough. OP Killer takes that one away, and now the sewer, they're falling like rats. TTOSTT able to find Rescali, but Music Clan and Malam are already down. Morty doing his best to disrupt this team fight the best that he can. Hindu Man trying to survive and get everyone out. We lose 2 and the Gold Fury.
Unfortunate for the sewer, but honestly, beautiful play on OP Killer 77 being able to secure that as a Loki. What is with these jungles securing things and you don't think they would?
Hey, OP Killer kind of saw through the stars, able to
Living up
take
to the
that Gold
name.
Fury away from the hands of the sewer, right? Hey, OP Killer, OP killing of buffs. Kind of unfortunate that Musie's unable to secure that one, even after a Kraken was expended, but hey, let's talk about OP Killer. He was the one who stole it. That's all on him.
Absolutely, but I do also want to mention that it turns out this Cupid did go arrows bow and he has been using it.
Also being used in the River's Rebuke is Mort. A good Aegis hits everyone with the Cataclysm. That's a 4-man. This Geb, hey, he's hard to kill. He's hard to take out. And he's spinning it around, being healed all the way up with that arrows bow that you mentioned. This Geb is basically impossible to kill.
I'm loving the Geb's late game play actually. I was a little bit off about the early to mid game, but this mid to late game part of the game is really playing out for him because not only did he just survive almost the entire team pinching him and a part of the jungle, by the way, he got out. He survived it,
Mort's
dealt some damage, and then got out on top of that.
Mort's gonna make me a believer on this pick, and I'm not sure if I'm okay with that. I hate how good he's playing this game on a Geb solo because, listen, if any of the ranked gremlins see this, they're gonna start latching onto that, and I'm gonna start seeing it in my games, and I'm gonna be upset.
And all I'm gonna say is if I see it locked in my game, I am taking one of those matchmaking delay penalties. That's how I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, Hindu Man, if you're listening to this cast afterwards, that was for legal reasons a joke.
Yes, Enderman, just know that I've never purposely left the game.
Oh, Malum, make sure Razkali wants to leave this game, gets a nice solo kill. Now OP Killer might be in trouble as the rest of the sewer are on the rotation. Caught in the fields of love, forces out the assassinate. This Loki being chased down by the god of love, posing as the god of death. Heart bomb gonna be good. But hey, this Loki, that's still one speedy boy. He's not falling down that easily.
Yeah, now that I think about it, the god of death being considered the god of war, how about that? I know there's a new God of War game coming out, but...
We love to see the God of War, and we love to see Morty hitting those cataclysms. Ashlyn sent to the grave. That's an execute for you. But Musi able to fall down in the River's Rebuke. Ashlyn finds TTOSTT as well. And this Yemoja, the star of the game, is popping off. Hindu Man doing what he can to keep his team alive with that arrows bow. Those autos are hitting home, but you can't heal yourself, and you're slowly whittling yourself down. We got a dash, and we're straight back to our Malum. The team's going to calm down just a little bit. Morty stepping forward just to make sure that the two can't get forward aggressive anymore. But he's roll-outing in trouble. I don't know why I'm scared of this guy anymore. He's a Geb. We've seen it time and time again. This guy's taking negative damage.
I do really like how Ashlyn made sure to take 2 people to the grave with her. She said, if you're taking me, I'm taking 2 of you with me.
Yeah, might also try to take Hindu Man along with us, and the fact the fight starts over now, pushed in is OB Killer and Hindu Man. That's one tanky boy. Cataclysm hits 3 members, and now it's the other team who's looking low. Piercing Moonlight is beautiful. Malum gets a double kill, and we're stuck in the fields of love. Raskali taking all of their health bar for daring to step forward, and now it's the sewer as 3 knocking down this Achilles. He's low, he's dead. That's 3 dead for Team T.
Team had the advantage there, I felt like, during that, because they had the sheer amount of numbers over the sewer. However, their main damager is down for the count and was not a part of that team fight. And as you can see, she is 10k above, almost 10k above the next damager. So having her not in these team fights is not really good for Team, honestly.
All up to Ashlyn to try and defend this base. She has those River's Rebuke, and she's stepping forward to find it, able to lock down Malum inside the cage of death. But she's taking a bunch of damage, and not damage is being passed onto her. Ashlyn sent to the grave. The sewer take out the star player. That light is snuffed, as well as this duo side Phoenix. 5 members of the sewer knocking on the base. But hey, there's 2 tier 2 towers up this time. Are you going to make that same fatal mistake? I don't think they will. They decide to get on out of dodge and go, hey, you know what? We've seen this before. Let's not throw this game.
I love that. I love seeing people learn from their mistakes in real time. It's always so great. I love it. I love because it shows accountability, in my opinion. It shows accountability and growth. And the only way to become a better player, and just better in general, is to acknowledge what you did wrong and then don't do it again. Try to change the way you went about it, you know? And I feel like that's what they're doing. And now they're securing a Gold Fury objective, and now maybe they can hopefully get some towers down before they try to go for that Titan again.
Yeah, change is beautiful in teams. Really helps us grow, and, well, it helps us win Smite games, and that's the most important thing about it. The sewer, 29 minutes into this game, still, make note of it, behind in kills, not behind in gold. A 5.7k gold lead favoring themselves. 23 kills only in their pocket. Team has 28. But we'll keep saying it. Who cares if you're getting the kills? As long as you're getting the objectives, that's what matters.
I think it's like I said before, I feel like the stark difference between Smite 1 and Smite 2 is you have to have a different mindset when it comes to competitive. Because in Smite 1, I feel like you definitely could make up for a golden XP imbalance by getting a bunch of kills. But it seems to not be the same thing in Smite 2. Smite 2 seems to really want you to work together as a team and play the map well, not just kill people like it's Arena, you know?
Listen, Conquest, definitely not Arena. The name, the tagline of this game is 5v5, teamwork or die. And the sewer certainly showing that their teamwork is playing forward. High-res Hindu Man stepping forward, trying to find someone out of spot. These 2 frontliners playing aggressive, trying to play keeps the outsies as the sewer pick up the fire giant. High-res Hindu Man's been poked out over the left side of the map, trying to distract what he can, but the sewer, I'm pretty sure this is all but a bait. In fact, they go on in. TTOSTT blinks, hits everyone with that storm call. The damage is huge, but here comes Malum. OP Killer falls on down, and Musi is surviving for days. That is 1 speedy NASCAR, baby. Poseidon living, and now Conjuration Knight in the backline on Hindu Man, trying to get some damage, but this team fight is split because Ashlyn is falling on down to TTOSTT. The only one left alive, that's Dinsfire, Rezkali. Conjuration Knight can't say the same anymore. 2 members, only 1 hope for this game. Team. Listen, you gotta play that defense because the sewer, they're getting themselves a fire giant.
Spectating the Poseidon, otherwise our Lightning McQueen of this game, just being able to basically speed away from any danger like that, kind of unscathed, it really puts things into perspective, like how fast that character really is, especially with Gem of Focus.
High-res Hindu Man just dented his forehead into the face of Raskali. He falls on down, but Morty making sure he's not going to get out of it with his life. Dinsfire eats the Kraken, and now 4 members are down for Team. OP Killer's back on the respawn, but the sewer, they have Fire Giant on 4, they have an Ancient Gold Fury, and they have a Morton Man running down to the Phoenix to keep the rest of Team out.
I think their Gold Fury play was really, really smart because, like I said, they did really learn from their last mistake. So now those towers are debuffed from the Ancient Gold Fury, and now they get to reapply that pressure with that Fire Giant pull they had.
The one thing about not having that traditional ADC in the carry role is that it makes these towers a lot harder to take on out. Yes. And well, when our ADC, quote-unquote ADC Cupid, is sent to the gray screen, I have to work a lot harder to take out these towers. So you're right. That Ancient Fury is definitely pivotal, as well as these bombs to take out those towers.
Oh, don't worry. Our high-res Hindu Man will be back from his timeout very shortly and be there to help his team with those little link hills. He's like your own pocket afro, but a miniature version, I guess, and a boy. Um, But I do feel like I really like so far. Once again, I don't want to glaze the sewer so much, but I do like their recent team fights. They pulled objectives very smart, and when they weren't sure about if they could pull Fire Giant or not, they kind of pulled the will they or won't they to the enemy team and had the enemy team on edge and pressed up, and therefore they killed the enemy team and then secure. And now they just get these towers in return.
Morton stepping forward all by his lonesome, and that man has earned this confidence. This Geb basically unkillable, single-handedly taking out towers himself. No one else is here, by the way. It's just a Geb knocking on this tier 2 tower to take it out.
The the abominable human spirit, as one would say, unstoppable Geb. Uses a rolling rock that it's a rolling force, essentially, a force that you just cannot stop. I mean, they did stop him
Gotta
2
roll out.
times, but not enough.
Yeah, not enough. And he's in fact rolling out into 4 members of the team while the rest of our teammates are picking up this Ancient Fury for ourselves. We need it to take out these Phoenixes, so I think it's a good play, but look at the rest of Team. They're too afraid. They're like, well, that's one way to play the map. Send our 2 unkillable frontliners. We gotta stand underneath our base.
Absolutely, and I think it comes back to the thing I mentioned. Kind of like a bunch of little spiders, like a spider infestation. You see one, there's always 2 you cannot see, and this applies here because team sees 2 people. They might be assuming that there's some more hiding in the jungle waiting for them to step out to fight these 2 people, but they had no idea they were on Gold Fury that entire time. Just give it up.
As dives sends Ashlyn to the grave with a blink combo. Kraken pumps some damage into Densfire, and here's Malum making that Moonlight Rain, gets a double kill under the Phoenix, and now we are going absolutely insane. Conjuration Knight sent to the grave as well. 5 members of the sewer walk on down to the base, and only OP Killer is left alive. This Geb is rolling on out for the victory because the sewer, they're knocking on the base. Hindu Mana jumping in. Assassinate's going to be good for the damage, but not good enough. Malum sends them to the grave because he is unstoppable, as is the sewer. They take the set in 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I also do feel like the sewer played really well towards the end to make sure they secured out the Ashlyn. They separated her from her team and killed her so they could have the rest of her team for free, essentially. They identified the problem and their mistakes, and they corrected it.
You love to see it in real time. Players like that, when they are able to pull out wacky comps like this, and you're going to struggle in the early game, but then you turn it around and just make it work. The sewer played absolutely beautifully this game, but let's give credit where credit is due. Team made that one look so much closer. This entire set looks so much closer as from week 1. This team grew, changed their roster, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to stop growing anytime soon.
Absolutely. I'm also seeing some after game chat here about now that's pod racing. I love to see a W Star Wars reference in the after game chat.
Well, we're all nerds here. We love talking about video games. We love talking about Star Wars. And if you're the sewer, we love winning sets.
About all the things we got bullied for in high school, basically.
We're safe here. We're safe in our lovely bubble. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap this one up, ladies and gentlemen. My name has been Moonmellows. I've been joined here by the first cast ever. Everyone give it a round of applause for Raven being a phenomenal chair 2 in her first cast here. Our lovely production has been the lovely Red Rosie. Thank you all for watching the Animosity Amateur Smite League. We'll be back with more Smite action next time.